In April, the House of Representatives just passed a resolution condemning the phrase "from the river to the sea." This video explains what it really means, why Israeli lobbyists have been trying so hard to pejoratize the phrase, and why activists, including prominent leaders, continue to use it. Spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with violence.
There are four subpopulations of Palestinians. Most of us are pretty familiar with the first two, Gaza and the West Bank. But Israel, from the beginning of its creation, has wanted to keep the other two populations hidden and never talked about. First, Israeli Arabs. These are Palestinians who live inside Israel. They live under a different set of laws that govern where they can live, work, and even who they can marry. Israeli Arabs comprise 21%, or 1/5 of Israel's population.
Simply put, there are more non-Jews in Israel than there are African Americans in the United States. The reason why Israel tries to downplay this community is it erodes the acceptance of the term Jewish state. To call Israel a Jewish state in this context is just as offensive as calling the U.S. a white nation.
Some famous activists for Palestinian rights who are actually Israeli Arabs include Huwaida Araf, Hanin Zoabi, who was on the Mavi Marmara, and even the founder of the BDS movement, Omar Barghouti.
And the second hidden population and most injured are the refugees. These are the Palestinians who were violently forced to leave their homes in 1948 when Israel colonized the land. Some live today in the West Bank and Gaza, as well as other countries like Lebanon and Jordan. In fact, more than 80% of Palestinians living in Gaza are not indigenous to that area, but are actually from lands that were taken during the creation of Israel. And they want to go back home.
This is Handala. He is the symbol for refugees and the reminder to not forget or forsake them. Handala has his hands crossed and refuses to turn around and show his face until the plight of the refugees are addressed and he can go home. Under international law, known as the right of return, refugees do have the right to go home. The U.S. accepts the right of return, and so does Israel.
But Israel defines it in a racial way. Only Jewish people, even those that have no geographical ties, can apply for the right of return.
So why does Israel want to hide these two groups? It is about ballots, not bullets. If these two hidden populations are given their rights, demographically, they will be able to vote for a non-Jewish prime minister. That is what is really meant when they say the destruction of the Jewish state. It is not about hurting people. We white Americans experienced our own destruction of our white nation. Most of us do not think that was a bad thing, and it wasn't done violently.
Whether you choose to use the phrase "from the river to the sea" or not, it is important for allies of the Palestinians to elevate the stories of these two hidden populations into our movement. Even if discussions about Israeli Arabs and refugees make politicians or Israel advocates uncomfortable.